It's 8:30. Good morning. I'm Ian Crouch with Hunter News. An undercover operation by detectives from the Child Abuse Squad has resulted in the arrest of a senior officer from the Williamtown RAF base. Officers posing as a 13-year-old girl began engaging online with the man in December, where it's alleged he discussed sexually explicit acts he wished to perform on the child and sent sexually explicit material. Detectives arrested the 48-year-old at the base yesterday before searching his Madawi home, where they seized laptops, mobile phones and hard drives. He's been refused bail to face Raymond Terrace Court today on child procurement and possession of child abuse material charges. Former Swansea MP Milton O'Copoulos has allegedly breached his parole conditions and could be sent back to jail. The 62-year-old has been charged with failing to comply with reporting obligations and is due to face court on March 4. O'Copoulos was released from Long Bay Jail only a month ago after serving 11 years for drug and child sex offences. The State Parole Board is due to meet today to discuss the breach and could revoke his parole, meaning he'll return to prison. Hunter MP Joel Fitzgibbon is criticising the federal government over their new announcement of grants and concessional loans for bushfire-affected small businesses. The grants, which aim to help businesses rebuild, comes after the announcement of small business drought loans last November, which have not been fully administered. Joel Fitzgibbon says the promises from the government are not being followed through.
Well, the government keeps promising that the loans they promised in November last year will come online soon, but we still haven't seen them online, and yet he's now announcing another round when he can't get the round he announced months ago into place.
Lake Macquarie Police are looking into whether the discovery of booby traps on a popular walking track at Bolton Point is related to the use of unregistered trail bikes. A jogger uncovered several wine corks with nails pierced through them in 3 piles of leaves on the Alexander Trail on Monday. Police suspect it's the work of someone who objects to the unregistered trail bikes being on the track and has taken matters into their own hands by trying to puncture the tyres. Police say the use or possession of so-called caltrops is an offence under the Weapons Prohibition Act, which carries a maximum penalty of 14 years in jail. Labor is slamming the Nationals for disadvantaging Hunter seniors by delaying the state government-issued seniors travel cards until February. The cards, offering a $250 discount on transport and fuel, were anticipated to be available to seniors now, allowing them to access shops and medical services. Shadow Minister for Seniors Joe Halen says the card would be useful if the government were to stick to their promise.
We know seniors across New South Wales are in need, particularly those that are struggling with drought or bushfire at this time, and this money will come in handy for those seniors to be able to get around their community, to use taxis, pre-booked train link regional services and coach services. But the government has delayed this rollout, and now seniors will have to wait until February for this card that they were promised at the last election.
The state government appears to have had a change of heart on whether to go ahead with the runway extension at Newcastle Airport. The $150 million project involved widening the runway to allow for larger international flights to land there. Government representatives told airport officials last week the plan was unlikely to proceed because it wasn't economically viable. However, backroom talks have led to a change in stance, with bureaucrats now saying the expansion will continue to be assessed.
2NURFM Sport.
Newcastle Jets interim coach Craig Dean says changing around the squad's formation to include skipper Nigel Bogard for their match against Wellington Phoenix. The 33-year-old has not played since November due to an abductor injury, but has put his hand up for selection after spending the last 2 weeks back in full training. Dean says he has no problem including Bogard, as his quality and experience make him a valuable player.
There's a lot of flexibility within the squad to change the formation and to change personnel, and obviously Nigel's back the whole week last week and could have been involved on Saturday if we wanted to push it, but decided it wasn't worth the risk at that point. But he'll obviously do the whole week this week and put his hand up for selection.
In the meantime, the W League midfielder Libby Corpus-Brown will be sidelined for this week's match against Perth Glory after receiving her 4th yellow card. The team may also be without striker Nikki Flannery, who's in doubt with an ankle injury. And Newcastle Knights hooker Danny Levi has farewelled his teammates at training after leaving the club for a 1-year contract with the Manly Sea Eagles. And the winning numbers in Oz Lotto are 17, 12, 40, 43, 37, 22 and 5, and the supplementaries are 27 and 36. 2NURFM News Time, 25 to 9.